Why?
Oh my God. Yay!
Listen, let me just tell you, I texted you maybe like 3 times before we like started and everything, and I didn't realize that I was texting the wrong person until like right when you texted me. I was like, She hasn't gotten any of these, so but it's fine. I'm glad we made it."
Yay.
Awesome. Okay, so I guess we can kind of jump right into everything. How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's been busy.
Yeah,
This morning I was at an elementary school reading to some kids, and then
awesome.
back to school. So technically, actually, today was the last day of senior year,
Oh
but
wow.
I tomorrow. So I was like fully fledged, like just going to school on a regular day. But then there was
Thinking
like
all
years,
good. You have one more time.
like I'm never gonna see you again. I'm like, I'm gonna be here tomorrow. They're like, no, you're not. Tomorrow's the last. Today's the last day.
Well, at least you didn't have any time, I guess, to get sad about it. It kind of was in
Yeah.
your face as soon as it happened. No, I had to, I did a really actually awesome presentation this morning for Miss Presidential Pathways class.
Okay.
So that was
Oh,
super, getting in with some kids. But so yeah, today a little busy, not too bad. But
yeah.
all right. Well, other than your miraculous last day of school realization, uh, just a little bit about yourself, I guess, like what you've been working on and just, just yourself, I guess, as a person.
Yes. So, hi everyone. My name is Rebecca Zhang. I am currently, or I guess I want to say currently anymore. I'm a senior in high school. I am a rising freshman at Vanderbilt University. I'll be attending that college in August. And my platform is hashtags about step up, which is all about the growth mindset and encouraging teenagers to have the courage to step outside of their comfort zone. I'm going to be competing alongside with Kelsey in Miss Georgia in June. My current title is Miss Gwinnett County's Outstanding Teen. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here today.
Awesome. So I know you said your platform kind of revolves around giving empowerment and just kind of encouragement to young women or just young people in general. How has your involvement just within the Miss America organization given you just the confidence in your life to, I guess, make a difference within the community?
Yeah, I feel like before the Miss America organization, I never realized the importance of community service. And I think the emphasis that this organization places on having a platform and being so passionate about it, and then doing whatever you can to achieve goals within your social impact initiative is something that really inspired me to, find my own passions and do whatever
Yeah.
I can for them. I think before, like, I think a lot of girls, they come out pretty shy and not really knowing how to express yourself. But I think the Miss America organization has taught me that if you're so passionate about something, you can overcome any challenge. You can overcome speaking disabilities. You can overcome the fear of public speaking because of your passion for a platform. So I'm really grateful for this organization. I've been involved for almost 5 years now. My very first time competing for Miss Georgia was the summer right after 8th grade.
Okay.
So weird saying that because I still feel like wasn't so long ago that was like a newbie and now I'm like a veteran and people are like, you've been here for so long. I'm like, it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean, the time flies. And honestly, I love the word that you used. I've kind of fallen in love with the word passion. I think in just everything that it embodies, I believe everyone kind of has a passion.
mhm.
But like you said, this organization does such a good job of actually giving us, I guess you could say, the confidence to actually share that with the world around us. And that definitely has been really big for me, even just in my journey. When I was younger, I was super introverted. Uh,
Yeah.
Even just being in the position that I'm in now is just something I never would have envisioned for myself. I kind of got involved around the same time that you did. The first time that I was able to compete at Miss Georgia wasn't until, I believe it would have been the summer after my 10th grade year. So, but I started competing in prelims my 9th grade year of high school. So, but the earlier that you're able to start, the better. I think
Yeah.
you definitely kind of end up reaping the benefits as the year goes on. So,
Yeah.
very happy for you. And it's been really awesome for me, I think, even just watching you. And like you said, when you first started to where you're at now, uh,
hmm
it's a beautiful process. So
Yeah.
that you were able to stick with it and fall in love with the organization as well.
Yeah.
So What would you say, I guess, like inspired you to start your social impact initiative or your like personal connection to it?
So I feel like my understanding of the growth mindset did not really fully develop until after Hearts of Gold Society.
Okay.
Society is not the center of my platform, but it's a part of it. So
Okay.
it's an organization that I co-founded, um, I think the summer before junior year of high school. And it's basically a mentoring program where students with special needs our mentees and students in high school can volunteer and become mentors for them. And we have a variety of different clubs from reading to exercise to public speaking. It's a variety of different clubs. Yeah, the other co-founder, Joanna, she's on here right now.
I see her down there.
Yeah, it's so cool to be able to. I feel like when the pandemic really hit, it was really hard for volunteers to find opportunities to get out in their community, especially in my high school. You know, we everything was moved online. We had the option of going in person, but like I feel like 90% of students were online.
Right.
And finding volunteer opportunities online was extremely hard. And then on the other side of things, the children who with special needs who are stuck at home, they did not have this social interaction that a lot of kids with disabilities really need.
Right.
And I felt like there's really need to be something where even if it's through online, some kind of interaction between a mentor and a mentee should have been possible.
Right.
So that inspired me to start Hearts of Gold Society. And then in our classes, we focus a lot on overcoming challenges. And no matter your disability, most of our kids do have autism. But it's a wide range of, it could be intellectual, those social disabilities. But I find it so important for them to find a way to, I mean, I feel like it's hard for me to say because, I'm not someone with special needs, but for those who do have special needs, finding a way to overcome disability and, focus on whatever it's reading, public speaking, finding another avenue for them to express themselves
Right.
was something I wanted these kids to understand. So
Yeah.
I think that inspired me to learn about the importance of the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. And yeah, that led me here to. So my platform before, when I first started competing, was about leadership, but now
Okay.
it's kind of evolved. I think something so cool is that you can change your platform at any time. Whether you
Anytime.
once you have a new passion, once you discover something new that you are more in love with, you can switch it to that. So
Right.
that's evolved.
Yeah, and I mean, even how you said like during the pandemic, how difficult that was, I think from both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I could definitely say even my brother having to be at home literally 24/7, him being able to get out and do things is so vital to him in so many different ways, whether it's like his motor skills, his social skills, which obviously is a big part and component of those who are disabled.
Yeah.
So even just, you taking that initiative to do that during such a difficult time, I think, in a lot of people's lives, is so awesome. And I love that. And I'm glad that the people that go to your school also were able to reap the benefits of that. And I'm assuming, is it just closed off to your school, or is it kind of like a countywide thing where you are?
So it started off just with students at my Chattahoochee High School, but
Okay.
now it's expanded to we have mentees nationwide. So we have kids in California, in Chicago, New York. Like it's
Yeah.
a nationwide program now, which is really amazing. And
Literally, the beauty behind social media is the literally
exactly.
connecting so many different people, so many.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like, the connection between the mentors and the mentees is so special. And even if it's through Zoom, I feel like that could be another benefit of like being able to reach people across the seas from
Right.
across. So yeah, it's really amazing to what the program has become now.
And okay, so I guess through your experiences with, being able to mentor those who have disabilities, or even just kind of watching the interactions, what would you say is kind of like the biggest misconception that you've noticed that a lot of people have about people that, have a disability, whether it is just an intellectual disability, a learning disability, someone that has autism or Down syndrome? What would you say just is something that a lot of people don't understand or misperceive, I guess?
So I think the first thing is generalizing autism or disabilities. I feel like this was honestly a mistake that I had to learn with interacting with these kids in the beginning as well. Um, before I thought, oh, there's only one form of autism, there's only one form of syndrome, but that is like the total opposite. So
Right.
autism, you know, like it's a spectrum, and there's
So
kids
yeah.
who you might not even know they have autism, and there's kids who, you know, have it a lot more severe, but it's a spectrum, and then the way you have to interact with these children is completely different.
Hmm.
So that's why in our program, we have one-on-one sessions, and then we have group sessions, and then once you commit to one, you stay with it basically however long you're involved.
Okay.
So I've been teaching the class, they're fourth, fifth graders, and I teach them in reading.
Okay.
With 4 to 5 of them, you know, sometimes there's one on screen, sometimes there's five. So it
Okay.
always is. But I've been with them for almost 2 years now, and because of that, I've really been able to cultivate this amazing relationship with them. I know them so well. One of my favorite things about them is that they love watching movies. So every single time before we start class, yeah, I know. Somehow just like everything online gets their attention. So
That
before we get class,
has to
watch.
do with having something to do with your hands.
Yeah,
Something that keeps their mind constantly stimulated. Every time I come home, my brother's like, "You want to watch a movie?" I'm like,
yeah,
oh, that is so true. And I mean, even just kind of watching, I think, like you said, cultivating those relationships. The parapro that my brother had when he was in elementary school, every year for her birthday, they go out to eat. Like that means so. So I mean, even the fact that you're taking it upon yourself to make sure that this is a continuous thing, I think it's very easy to do a good thing one time. So you know that shows longevity, I think, in just who you are as a woman, but even just in your goals and what you're really headed towards. So that's
yeah,
awesome. I love that. Now, I know that that is one component of your platform,
yeah.
but you also have founded a hashtag Step Out, Step Up, which also goes along with your virtual campaign, hashtag Step Up Story. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my hashtag step up stories are on my YouTube channel, and basically Zoom interviews with inspirational individuals that I found have a story that have shown the success of the growth mindset. So before I begin, like with the interviews, the growth mindset is basically understanding that your failures don't define you, and understand the power of yet. So if you don't succeed at something right now, you haven't succeeded at it yet. And I feel like in society, we've kind of changed the word of, you know, I just failed at something, it's okay, I can move on, into I'm a failure, which is your identity. And I think that can be very, very damaging, you know, with mental health and depression on the rise, and especially with after the pandemic. I feel like it's so important to have people understand that your failures don't define you. So, hashtag Slip Up Stories, like I said, are people who have succeeded with their growth mindset. One of my favorite interviews I had was with the Georgia Teacher of the Year 2014, Jamila Coes. And she's such a cool teacher because she wants to incorporate diversity into her teaching styles, which is something that, like, I feel like teachers, in my head, like teachers have like a curriculum they set to, but she's able to, you know, find ways to integrate her beliefs into her curriculum, which is so interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so cool to be able to, you know, get in contact with these people and then have them share real life success stories. And I think that's really inspirational for me and many other people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, even just I think sometimes a lot of people just need to know and see that in someone else, like that it's possible to continue to persevere, whether it's in a big or small way. And in terms of her diversity, I think that that is amazing. I'm sure that you and I can both attest to uh,
Yeah.
how special it is, I think, to be able to see yourself in some way represented in the way that you're learning. So that's really awesome. I think even in really just the Miss America program, but specifically the Miss Georgia organization, the year that Patricia, I know that you have a really good relationship with her, but
Yeah.
the year after she won, we started to see so many more girls that looked like her start to compete. And that's just so beautiful, I think, to I guess when you're in that moment, you don't realize how big of an impact you can have just by simply being there and being present. Um, so, I mean, it's beautiful. And I think that that's awesome that she was able to, I guess, work on implementing that into her
Yeah.
learning and teaching styles.
Yeah. So Patricia was the reason why I started competing. One of the reasons why I started competing. So it was Patricia and Rory. we all dance at the same dance studio. And then just like seeing the impact that the program has had on them, it made me want to, join the team and,
Figure out
see what it's like. Yeah. So, yeah,
right.
you're
So
so
I know
right.
about your Hearts of Gold Society Club,
Mhm.
but you're also partnered with the True Love organization, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you just tell us a little bit about what that is and what your partnership entails?
So True Love is another local organization that serves kids with special needs.
Okay.
And so I started out with like special needs, like people were like, oh, how is it related to me at all? I don't suffer with special needs. I don't have any siblings who do. But I started volunteering with them at a very young age. I think maybe when I was like 10 or 12. And I remember there was this one event that I participated in. It was a Christmas party event, and that was my first time fully having like all the parents and mentors and students there in one room. And
Okay.
I so astonished by the community that the organization has made. It is a primarily Chinese focused community because I feel like that's another barrier that not only the students but the parents of special needs kids struggle with is finding a community where they share the same language and are able to find other people look like them and can share stories and help these parents out.
Right.
So I felt like that community was so strong, and the moment I was there and at the time was Miss Atlanta's outstanding teen. I walked in there with my crown and sash, and all the little girls were just so astonished, and they wanted to touch my crown, touch my sash, and like you said, like they like the physical touch, like physical when they actually can see and touch things. So that was so special, and after that, that inspired me to start Hearts of Gold. So that program, that organization has made a true impact on me as well.
Yeah, and I mean, even I think I have to remind a lot of people, and I kind of talk about it a little bit in my social impact pitch and everything, but
Yeah.
1 in every 54 boys within our country are diagnosed with autism. And that's as simple as literally like walking into a classroom.
Exactly.
And the possibility of one person being in there. Even the class that I was able to talk with this morning, one of the children, we did kind of a Q&A at the end. And one of the girls walked up and she was like, my cousin has autism. And so, I mean, even if it is just one person, that connection is always there,
Mhm.
even if it's not directly evident. So I think it's easy to fall into that mindset of like, dang, I don't have this direct contact, but you're
Yeah.
surprised. Like the person next to you, kind of like you said, autism isn't one of those disabilities that you can just always look at someone and automatically tell that they have it.
Yeah.
And even going on to learning disabilities and, just the different types. So that's so special. And I love that also you were kind of able to be that palpable representation for them. I'm sure I can only imagine the reactions when you walked in with your crown
Yeah.
and just how beautiful that was. So switching gears a little bit, how would you say that your program could potentially connect to and uplift those who have a disability and just tying the confidence aspect in with that?
When I speak to kids, a lot of times I like to tell them is that anyone can wear this crown and anyone can be a part of the Miss America organization. And like we were talking about by diversity, it's not just racial diversity, it's also, disability diversity. I think we need to
Right.
understand that anyone who is passionate about something, has a talent, and can advocate for themselves and for others can wear the crown. And,
Yeah.
when I talk to my kids about that, it's something that I think really inspires them.
Yeah, and I mean, even the fact that we literally have someone competing at Miss Georgia this year that has autism, like, it is just amazing, I think, just to see the evolution of the program and even at a national level, the things that have become accepted by the people that tune into the stuff that we're doing. And just, for her to feel comfortable enough to know that she can come to Miss Georgia and be loved, be appreciated, but also be respected and feel comfortable in that moment. Is something that I've definitely wanted to make sure was big within her experience this year. So
Yeah.
the two will always, I think, coincide. And I think when we think about confidence, like you said, it's easy to like think about ourselves and the diversity, I guess, that we individually face. But there are so many different forms of diversity,
Hmm.
so many different minorities within our country, even us as women being a minority,
Yeah.
that need to be uplifted and know that we're capable. So that's always just so special and so
Yeah.
good. So through your community service work with I guess within the state of Georgia, what is one big change that you really want to see within, I guess you could say, the Miss Georgia organization, or honestly just in general?
Just in general, it's a good question. I think that because mentoring is such a huge part of my platform, and another thing I want to add, I'm actually starting a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of America. So this on Saturday, we actually have an event where I'm helping them fundraise at Lake Lanier. And then next week, I'm able to speak at my very first time with the Lawrenceville Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
So I think that we need to put more emphasis on mentoring. And I know a huge part of the Miss America organization is role models and like Team the Girls with the Crown. They can have people can be inspired by that. But I think we need to be more grounded and like have these more face-to-face interactions with
Right.
students and just younger generations alike. I think that going into schools, just like both of us did this morning, and speaking directly to the kids and having them, touch our crown, touch our sash. I
Hmm.
know the importance of social media is there, and we need to find ways to bring the masses, but the personal connections is always what transcends any type of online interaction.
Right.
So yeah, I think I would just love more in-person events where we're talking and speaking and, feeling the people around us.
Right. And honestly, that has kind of always, I guess, been my niche. Like
Yeah.
I I love, it's great that anyone can get up and give a speech. We can all get up and read a platform, essay, or even, just do a PowerPoint. But I think being able to just go into a setting and be yourself and be that light for the people that need your influence, you can't beat that. I mean, and those are the moments I think that people remember when they go along their journey and they have those difficult times, or those moments of frustration or self-doubt where they're not confident. I know my mind has always gone back to the strong and powerful women that I know
Yeah.
that influenced me. So that's huge. And I think that's something that we'll always need just within our state. But I mean, even within the program itself, having
Mhm.
those personal in-person connections, like you said, is always going to be vital.
Yeah.
Uh, with the pageant coming up next month, what are you hoping to accomplish? Like I said, more so, I guess, in this realm for the actual Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen program.
So I love our state platform now that we have Reach Out and Read. I think that is just another great addition to the list of platforms that we already advocate for.
Right.
But I would love to just, like I said, reading and mentorship, or we do a lot of reading in Hearts of Gold. And I think that, again, the in-person relationships that we can make by, reading to schools and children in the schools is a way that is an in-person interaction that I think we can totally do more of. And I would love, if all works well, if I win Miss Georgia Outstanding Teen, I think it's something I would totally want to promote and advocate more for.
Yeah. And I mean, I got to do this really cool interview
Mhm.
with, I'm not sure the exact name of the page, but they kind of focus on tying in, I believe, baseball with the pageantry and everything, and Red Sox fans. But one of the things that they kind of asked me just what I've really liked about what Carson has done this year as Miss Georgia for our state. And I think before her, I mean, not to knock any of the other Miss Georgias, they've all done an amazing job, but the fact that she has put such an emphasis on equity within our state and just making sure that everyone has equal opportunity is
Yeah.
something huge. I think obviously, you have different groups within our state that have access to different things, whether it's from a financial standpoint, an educational standpoint, or even just a resource standpoint.
Mhm.
Um, that's something I don't think that anyone is really focused on
Yeah.
before Carson. And even just being able to go to different events and people knowing what the Miss Georgia program is, this year is huge because I know when I first started, like, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm a Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen. And they were like, what is that? So the fact that that's being known now, but I think it's known because of the reputation that we have for making a difference, not just because it's a pageant, or, even that we have crowns and sashes. So that's awesome. And I think even, like you said, implementing that mentorship aspect into coinciding the reading as well is really special. And what is your order of competition for the week of? I know that we
Yeah.
start 15th. So we'll have 3 preliminary nights, and then the final night will be on the 18th.
Yes. So I'm Omega 9, and Omega does talent first, then evening wear, and then fitness. So I have all the hard stuff first, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I chose the order myself. I wasn't called last, so I was able to choose, which, you know, for me, like in past years, I've always was like, oh, I need to do fitness first because that's like get used to the stage. But I feel like with talent first, that's another even better way to get a feel of what the stage is like. You know, talent is like ballet, something I've been doing for so long now, over 10 years. And I think it's a routine that I'm familiar with. You know, I've done my talent routine so many times. So I think that will help me get a good feel of just being on stage, and then that can really help me with the rest of competitions. What was yours?
So I actually have, in my mind, I guess I have the hard stuff first. I'm doing impact and on-stage interview first.
Okay.
Got like a nice little break for evening gown the second night, and then I've got talent the last night. And I mean, I guess I say hard stuff just because I think for me, that's where my brain is challenged the most out of the 3 aspects. But you know, that's once again the beauty behind everything. I've been able to fall in love with those difficult components, even in itself. So I'm excited. I think I'm a little anxious, but like, I'm excited. I'm optimistic about it.
Yeah.
I know you said you've done your time. Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
Oh no, I was just gonna add to, yeah, like interview is something, oh my Lord. Like when I first started competing, that was like speaking to a group of random strangers for
Literally.
8 minutes straight where they could ask anything about anything is, you know, just to like a random person. That's really,
Yeah,
really scary.
for you to be vulnerable. I think in an aspect that a lot of people just, you know, on everyday living, you don't go to 5 people and tell them everything about yourself and your goals, and, you know, especially 5 people that you don't know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think there's, once again, though, that's kind of the beauty of the process, being able to open yourself up to that, especially because in being, you know, Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen or Miss Georgia, that's pretty much all your job is meeting people that you don't know, and getting to know them and allowing them to get to know you. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking. And actually, I'm from conversations that I've had with like other girls that compete in different systems, the Miss America organization has the longest set of interviews
Oh yeah.
for the teams and the Miss. So it's
Yeah.
not like we're just going in there for 2 minutes and telling everything that we can. Like, we really are in there having a full conversation
Exactly.
for a while. And I think just to be able to do that in itself, it's a task. So
Yeah.
definitely something to applaud yourself for, you know, whether you're optimistic about it or not. So
Yeah. But no, I think with preparing for interview, I feel like I've learned just so much about myself, because when you're
yeah,
preparing questions and you have to understand yourself really, really well in order to answer these questions deeply and with intellect. So I think that like that's such a beautiful part of the organization as well. Just being so confident in your abilities and yourself, and that'll translate into the way you speak and the way you present yourself.
exactly. And I love that you are already that self-aware, because when I was a teen, I definitely was going through the motions. Like, it wasn't until I got to the Miss program and kind of had those challenges within interview where it's like, oh, like, I actually need to know how I feel about myself in order to answer this question.
Yeah.
You know, in turn, obviously causes you to have to dig into different parts of yourself
Yeah.
that you definitely wouldn't have dug into when you were 15 years old. So it's definitely a process, I think, of evolution, whether it's as a candidate, as a woman, and just being able, like you said, to actually be confident in those things. I think it's really easy to recognize, like, okay, this is how I feel, but can I go into a room of 5 people that probably won't agree with me and still be able to stand on the things that I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's a gratifying experience, though, and definitely can be uplifting if it's used, I believe, in a positive way. Um,
Exactly.
so, but apart from that, I can't remember if I said this already. Would you say that talent is your favorite portion at this point?
At this point, I feel like it changes every day, honestly. When I have when I come out from a good mock interview, I'm like, this is my favorite
This
part
is
of competition.
it. Yeah.
Empowering. I am so I could speak to anyone right now. But you know, it's like interview is so challenging because you could have an amazing interview and you have a horrible one, but it could be for no apparent reason. You know, you could have prepared, you know, many months for um a set of questions, but you don't know what questions that you're going to be asked. So it's, you know, it's challenging. So I think talent is definitely the most consistent one. Like I
Okay.
said, like something I've so long. So yeah, I'd probably say talent is still my favorite. You know, being able to express what I love to do so much on stage, what I've been doing for so long on stage is so cool. And I feel like, you know, ballet is in my studio. I feel like most of the dances I've done is either with the group and with other girls, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Builds teamwork and builds my relationships. I mean, I've been dancing with them for over 10 years now. But you know, being able to perform by yourself and with a solo, with, you know, a music that you absolutely love, with, you know, the shoes you've been wearing for so long. Like, you know, it's like I feel it's like doing it yourself is completely different than doing it with a group. So
Mhm.
I that makes the talent portion super special for me.
And let me say that you are a beautiful dancer. And I think even, you know, just the passion that you have behind what you do definitely translates when you're on stage. And honestly, it wasn't until I got involved with the Miss America organization that I was able to see like different forms of dancing. Um, I've always I started singing when I was 3. I sung for the first time on my 4th birthday, actually. Um,
Oh,
but even in that moment, like literally I made my mom stand on stage with me and my back was to the crowd. Like, so, you know, just being able to perform the way that I do now,
yeah.
just the evolution of that in itself. Like I said, I think everyone has a passion, but being able to just really step into that and in a way that allows people to understand, like, this is what I love doing. And, you know, this is just something that I believe God has placed in my life as a purpose, um, becomes a part of that process as well. So
Hmm.
you're doing a great job. I always love watching you dance. And that was from before, I guess you would say you were considered a vet, like the first year that you came. I thought you were a beautiful dancer, as I do now. So you should be very proud of yourself. Um, I guess just to kind of wrap things up, do you have any like upcoming events, news, or information that you want to share? I'm going to make sure that I save this on both. I don't know if I can do both of our pages, but definitely that I can save it on ours so that if
Yeah.
anyone come in and tune into what you've got going on, that they have kind of an idea.
So I already mentioned, but the Boys and Girls Club partnership is super exciting. So this Saturday, the event I have, and then next week is a week filled with events. I'm speaking to a couple more middle schools. Principal at a Gwinnett County school, they're like, they didn't know about like there was a title for Miss Gwinnett, so they're like so
Uh,
like
I know they jumped on that real quick.
yeah, they do. Especially like it's so cool that it's like a title with a place that you live near, and it's so
Right.
cool. So yeah, the principal's super excited to see the sash and the crown and everything. So I'm really excited about that. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a packed week next week, so I'll be posting a lot. And yeah, how about you?
Well, I've got a bunch of different things going on, but the biggest thing I guess that I'm kind of planning right now is actually the pageant that I do for girls with disabilities. That's going to be on June 3rd. So I'm cutting it close a little bit time wise to Miss Georgia. So I'll have a really big, like, couple of last weeks there, but I'm really excited. I'll be releasing like official info for that soon.
That's
Um, if
amazing.
you have I was going to say, if you have a chance to, I'd love for you to come, even if it's, well, I should say, a big part of the pageant itself, it actually kind of starts the process in the morning and they're paired up with buddies, each contestant is. So they're kind of with them throughout the day and able to help them through the different phases of competition.
Uh-huh.
The girls, like, they go on stage with them during the pageant and into their interviews. But yeah, so I mean, even just that, I guess you could say, idea of being able to connect the two communities is always important. That inclusivity aspect is what I'm hoping for once again. So, but yeah, like I said, I'll be releasing info on that super soon
Yeah,
to and everything.
done that. Is that like an annual thing? Is
So yeah, I mean, I started it my freshman year of high school. It
okay.
actually was before I had won a title within the Miss America system at all. Um, And, you know, I think just kind of being able to do it, I had to stop for a few years when I went to college in Tennessee. So being able to kind of pick it back up, especially within my hometown, I'm really excited for. I'm hoping to also have just kind of more outreach. We're kind of opening it this year to be open to everyone rather than just people that live in this area. So
Yeah.
really that, but yeah, it's been, I guess this will technically be like the fourth year.
Okay. That's amazing.
If you have, though, anything else that you want to share, if not, you're completely fine. But I don't want to close you off to, you know, not being able to talk about everything that you want to.
Yeah. I mean, that's mostly it for me. I feel like, okay, so, you know, you were a former Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen, and
Yeah.
in my head, like, I had never envisioned myself talking to a former Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen. Like, I feel like, I don't know, when I first started competing, I feel like I put a lot of other contestants on a pedestal. I was like, oh my God, like, I can never be her, and like, that's like, I, like, you know, that could never be me. But I think
Yeah.
as like I've matured and evolved in my experience for over 5 years, I think I've really understood that anyone can be anything you want. And I think this program puts so much emphasis on that.
Mm-hmm.
Wear the crown, anyone can wear the sash. And yeah, I'm just like, sometimes my mom, she starts crying when like she starts about like the amount of influence this program has made on me. Like, I mean, like, it's truly amazing. And I think that it's so grateful to see people like you as well who have truly embodied what Miss America is all about. And yeah, it's amazing.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that I told at what is that event called? Meet the Crowns.
Uh-huh.
Me and Patricia were giving up our titles. One thing that I said during, I guess, like the little speech that I gave is that you're in the position that you're in right now because you are worthy and because you deserve to be there. And the simple fact that you have obtained the title that you have and done the work that you've done, like, you qualify to be Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen. And that goes, I think, for every single contestant. And I think having to remind myself that even has been a big part of my journey. And just remembering that when that week comes, it's kind of in the judge's hand as far as who they want to represent the state that year.
Yeah.
But as far as being qualified, being worthy, being good enough to be Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen, like, you're already there. You wouldn't be in the position that you're in if you weren't. But like you said, I mean, I think this program does such a good emphasis on reminding women that you don't have to look a certain way or, you know, even have certain interests to be able to be Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen or be Miss America's Outstanding Teen, be Miss Georgia, be Miss America. I can say, like, Allie Griffiths, when I first started doing pageants, I competed in the forestry, I guess you would say, like, industry. And I had gone like at an at-large title. At the time, she was Teen Miss Georgia Forestry. And I just remember like watching her and being like, oh my gosh, she's perfect. Like, and I mean, even just the fact that we're literally competing with each other now. Like, insane. I mean, and I don't even think I've ever even told her that, but just that beauty of like, you can be like these other women in your own way. So don't forget that. Like, you have evolved so much, but it's because you're worthy and because you're capable, not because you've been groomed to be who you are. Like you said, it's just been a matter of you simply stepping into your purpose and being confident in that. And also, one thing that I forgot to mention, you were first runner-up last year, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so clearly you're where you're supposed to be. And I'm proud of you for that. Congratulations. I know that you're going to do extremely well this summer. And if for some reason things don't go in that direction, still be confident in everything that you're doing. Hold firm the fact that, like I said, you're worthy and you deserve to be there. And you easily could obtain that title just like any of the other girls competing could. So
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. Well, it has been so awesome chatting with you. I think we've gotten to like talk a little bit here and there, but it's actually really nice to like get to know you, I think, on a little bit of a deeper level. And know that everyone that was able to tune in and that eventually will watch this video is going to really be proud of just who you are as a woman, especially at your age. I know I am.
Wise.
All right. Well, I will talk to you later. You guys know that you tune in to Rebecca's journey on your Instagram is at Miss Gwinnett's OT 2022.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So I'll make sure that I put it in the caption and everything though.
Thank you so much for having me on here. It's been amazing.
It was all right. Well, you have a good evening.
You too. Bye.